Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today our topic of discussion is chapter number 2, Making of Pakistan. And in this chapter, we will discuss different aspects of the history and the historical events. And these historical events are very important in the making of Pakistan. And we will study in this chapter Pakistan resolution, background of the Pakistan's resolution, with reference to the Pakistan movement, discuss the proposal of the Cripps Mission 1942 and reaction of political parties, Jinnah Gandhi talk and causes of failure, points of Wavell plan in Simla conference, 1945-46 general elections on the creation of Pakistan, Muslim League Legislatures Convention 1946, proposals of Cabinet Mission Plan 1946, the role of interim government 1946 to 1947, 3rd June Plan 1947, and the purpose of British colonialism and its strategy, and the role of Quaid-e-Azam in the making of Pakistan. Inshallah, we will discuss all these important events during today's session that carry high importance, because in this session we will discuss the issues of your exercise. So all of you must pay your full attention and should listen the lecture at least 2 times to get understanding of what you have learned. Let's start with exercise. 4 possible options are given for each statement. Mark on the correct option. Number 1. Who presented the Pakistan resolution? And the options are A.K. Fazlul Haq, Allama Iqbal, Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, and Sir Agha Khan. And the correct option is A.K. Fazlul Haq. Abul Qasim Fazlul Haq, and Abul Qasim Fazlul Haq is popularly known as A.K. Fazlul Haq, and he was also known as Sher-e-Bengal, Tiger of Bengal, and he was a well-known Bengali statesman in the first half of the 20th century, and he held numerous political posts in Pakistan and in the India before partition. And the Fazlul Haq drafted and moved the Lahore Resolution on March 23, 1940. According to this resolution, northeastern and eastern part of India formed sovereign states, and the resolution established the Muslim League demand for a homeland for Muslims, which ultimately led to the formation of Pakistan. And just like Quaid-e-Azam, he and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, he was a staunch believer of two-nation theory. Number 2 is, when did Sindh Muslim League pass a resolution in favor of partition? And the Sindh Muslim League passed a resolution in the favor of partition in 1938. Option D is the correct option. The Sindh Assembly was the first British Indian legislature to pass the resolution in favor of Pakistan, and G.M. Syed, an influential Sindhi activist and revolutionary and Sufi and one of the important leaders, struggled for the provincial autonomy movement, joined the Muslim League in 1938 and presented the Pakistan resolution in the Sindh Assembly. Number 3 is, a mission of the British government came to India in 1942 under the headship of Sir Stafford Cripps. Option C is the correct option. This Cripps mission came to India on 22nd March 1942 by the British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill, and he sent Sir Stafford Cripps, the leader of the House of Commons, with some constitutional proposal, because at that time the British government wanted to get the cooperation of the Indian people in order to deal with her war situation. And it's a time of a Second World War, and it is very difficult for Britishers to make the war success without the cooperation of both the Hindus and the Muslims of India. So the Cripps came to India, and he met both the leaders, political leaders, Quaid-e-Azam and Gandhi. They belongs to the major political parties of India, Congress and Muslim League. And this proposal was rejected by both major parties of India, Muslim League and the Congress, but their reasons are different to reject this proposal. Muslim League opposed it as it didn't promised formation of Pakistan and spoke about formation of only single dominion. And Hindu and Congress rejected it as it feared the partition of the country. And Gandhi called the Cripps mission as the post-dated check of a failing bank. Number 4. When did Quaid-e-Azam presented his famous 14 point? Quaid-e-Azam presented his famous 14 points in 1929. C is the correct option. Reply of Nehru report, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah presented his 14 points in 1929 because Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah rejected Nehru report in 1928, and these 14 points were to recommend the reforms that would defend the rights of the Muslims of the subcontinent. Number 5 is who presented over the session of provincial as well as central legislature selected on the ticket of Muslim League at Delhi on April 1946. And the options are Liaquat Ali Khan, Sardar Abdur Rab Nishtar, Allama Muhammad Iqbal, and Quaid-e-Azam. And Quaid-e-Azam presided over the session of provincial as well as central legislature selected on the ticket of Muslim League at Delhi on April 1946. Option D is the correct option, Quaid-e-Azam. Number 6. When was the Lucknow Pact made between Muslim League and Congress? Lucknow Pact made between Muslim League and Congress in 1916. And under the Lucknow Pact, Quaid-e-Azam united both of the nations, the Hindus and the Muslim, in 1916 because at that time, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was also the member of the Indian National Congress, and he was the leader of Muslim League also. And he got the right of separate electorate for the Muslim acknowledged and got the title of Ambassador of Peace, commonly known as the Ambassador of Hindu-Muslim Unity. Number 6 is how many ministers from Muslim League were included in the interim government 1946, and 5 ministers from Muslim League were included in the interim government 1946. Option D is the correct option. Number 8. When was the Indian Independence Act approved? Indian Independence Act approved in 18th July 1947. B is the correct option. In 1947, after the approval of the Parliament of the United Kingdom, and in Independence Act 1947, that partitioned India into 2 new independent dominion of India and Pakistan. In the annual session of All India Muslim League was Pakistan resolution passed in 1940 is the correct option. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah called off the 27th annual session of the All India Muslim League to be held from March 22 to 24, 1940 at Lahore. And on March 23rd, A.K. Fazlul Haq, the Chief Minister of Bengal, moved the historical Lahore resolution. The year of Delhi Muslim proposal is 1927, and B is the correct option. Quaid-e-Azam invited the Muslim leaders of India to meet at Delhi, and this meeting was held on 20th March 1927. And the purpose of this meeting is to break the ice and a bridge between the Muslims and the Congress, so that they could present common demands before the British for the legislature of the new act. Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah presided this meeting, and in this meeting lasted for almost 7 hours. And Quaid-e-Azam knew that the greatest constitutional contention between Muslim League and Congress was the matter of electorate, and Congress propagated joint electorate, as to them separate electorate would have weakened the foundation of the Indian nationalism, whereas Muslim League, out of their insecurity of undermined representations, were not ready to let go of their demand of separate electorate. Jinnah and team realized that they could only convince the Congress to accept a common agenda if they would withdraw the League's demand of separate electorate. And after a long discussion, it was unanimously resolved that League should accept a settlement with the Congress, and on the basis of the certain proposals known as the Delhi proposals, Jinnah and the Muslim League declared that they would withdraw the demand of separate electorate when provided the following demands by the Congress. World War II broke out in 1939. Option C is the correct option. World War II, also known as the Second World War, was a global war that lasted from 1939 to 1945. Next is, when was the Battle of Plassey fought? Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757. Battle of Plassey is a very important historical event, and the Battle of Plassey was fought in northeastern India on 23rd June 1757. Troops of the British East India Company and against the forces of Siraj-ud-Daulah, the last Nawab of the Bengal, and his French allies. Next is, when did the Quaid-e-Azam join the Muslim League? Quaid-e-Azam joined the Muslim League in 1913. Quaid-e-Azam came into politics in 1906, and he also became the member of the East India Company, but he joined later Muslim League in 1913. Is, how many princely states were there in the subcontinent when the partition of India took place? And total princely states were 635, and option B is the correct option. Now look at the next question. Question number 2. Match the column A with the column B. Simla Conference held in 1945. Rowlatt Act 1919. Cripps Mission in 1942. Cabinet Mission Plan in 1946. Jinnah Gandhi Talks in 1944. Now question number 3. In the blanks, and first blank is, Dash launched the civil disobedience movement and Quit India movement. Gandhi launched the civil disobedience movement and Quit India movement. Second one is, the Muslim got dash seats in the provincial assemblies election in 1946. Muslims got 428 seats. Cabinet Mission Plan consists of dash British ministers, 3 British ministers. When India was partitioned, and dash was the Viceroy of India. At that time, Lord Mountbatten was the Viceroy of India. And the next blank is, the Lahore Resolution was presented by A.K. Fazl Haq. Sixth blank is, Jinnah Gandhi Talks begin in the year 1944. The Dash mission proposed to make India a union, the Cabinet Mission. The Muslim League declared the day of 16th August 1946 as Dash Direct Action Day. The head of Boundary Commission for the Partition of India was Radcliffe. The Indian Independence Act was approved on 18 July 1947. Now we will do the question number 4 of your exercise. Write the short answers. Number 1 is, which resolution was presented by the Chief Minister of Bengal, Mr. Hussain Shahir Suharwardi, in the Convention of Assembly member in 1946? The answer of this question is, as a result of righteousness of Quaid-e-Azam speeches made in the Muslim League Convention and the resolution, even the member of the Cabinet Mission started thinking that Pakistan was indispensable in order to address the political issues in India. After this, another resolution was moved by Mr. Hussain Shahir Suharwardi, then Chief Minister of Bengal. It was also passed unanimously. The resolution declared that the zone comprising Bengal and Assam in the northeast and the Punjab northwest frontier province, Sindh and Balochistan in the northwest of India, namely Pakistan zones, where the Muslims are in a dominant majority, be constituted into a sovereign independent state, and that an unequivocal undertaking to be given to implement the establishment of Pakistan without delay. This resolution amended the ambiguity and inaccuracy that was created by using the word states in Pakistan. Resolution 1940. Before the convention came to an end, each member administered on an oath to struggle and make sacrifices for Pakistan. 2 is narrate 3 proposals of Cripps mission. The answer of this question is: first proposal, after the war the subcontinent will be under the crown, but the British government would avoid interfering in internal as well as internal affairs. And the second proposal of Cripps' mission is defense, foreign affairs, communication will be handed over to the Indians. And third one is the member of the provincial legislature assemblies will elect a central assembly for forming constitution. After the constitution is formed, it will be sent to all the provinces for confirmation, and the provinces which would not approve the constitution would have the authority to establish their independent status. And fourth proposal by the Cripps mission is appropriate steps will be taken for the security of minorities. These four proposals are included in Cripps mission, and you can write only 3. Question number 3. While presiding over the All India Muslim League session in Lahore in 1940, Quaid-e-Azam identified the direction for the struggle of the Muslims. Write any 2 points of this address. And the answer of this question is on your screens. While presiding over All India Muslim League session at Lahore in 1940, Quaid-e-Azam identified the direction for the struggle of the Muslims. And the main points of this address, Quaid-e-Azam said in his address, the Muslims are a separate nation because their custom, tradition, civilization, culture, and above all, religion is different from Hindus. In spite of the fact that they had been living together for centuries, both have their distinctive identifications. If the subcontinent get freedom in the form of United India, the rights of the Muslims will not be protected. Second point of his address is the demand of the Muslims for a separate country is not unhistorical. Ireland got freedom from England, Spain and Portugal became separate states. Czechoslovakia got a separate identification as a result of a partition. The problem in India is not of an intercommunal character but manifestly of an international one, and it must be treated as such. And third very important point is British India is a subcontinent. It is not a country or homeland of a nation. Many nations are living here and their interest and separate from each other. And this question is very important, and you should write only 2 points as mentioned in your question. And now look at the fourth question. What was the reply of Quaid-e-Azam in Jinnah Gandhi Talks 1944? Reply of Quaid-e-Azam is Quaid-e-Azam urged that the style adopted by Gandhi is nothing but cheating and hypocrisy and cunningness. He emphasized that the British must settle the issue of Pakistan before the freedom of India because Congress and Hindus could not be relied upon. The next question is, many important personality presented the opinion to partition of India. Write the name of any 5 such personalities. After failure of the War of Independence in 1857, the Muslim leader was constantly thinking how they could provide the Muslims with peaceful, secured and honored environment. Although it was being discussed as how to provide security to the Muslim, yet they were unsatisfied with their future. Many significant personalities like Sayyid Jamaluddin Afghani, Abdul Harim Sharar, Abdul Jabbar Khairi and Abdul Sattar Khairi, the Khairi's brother, and Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar and Maulana Shaukat Ali, the Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Lama Muhammad Iqbal and Chaudhry Rahmat Ali proposed for the partition the subcontinent. The next question is, how did the provincial groups formed in the cabinet mission plan? Before discussing this answer, I will give you the brief description of cabinet mission plan, and you can see in 1945, Labour Party came into power in Britain, and noticing the increasing political restlessness in India, and the British Prime Minister Lord Attlee sent cabinet mission to India, and this mission had two basic purposes. The first purpose was to determine the constitutional status of India and the form of the government. The second purpose was to bridge the gap between the Muslims and the Hindus and try to convince the Muslims to live in the united India, but the general elections proved that it was quite impossible. The commission consisted of three ministers: Sir Stafford Cripps, Mr. A.V. Alexander, Lord Patrick Lawrence. And since all the members belonged to the British cabinet, and it was called cabinet mission. Formation of provincial groups is one of the proposal of cabinet mission, and in this proposal they said that provinces of India were to form three groups: Group A, B and Group C. And in Group A, Hindu majority provinces of Madras, Bombay, UP, CP and Bihar and Orissa. And in Group B, Muslim majority provinces like Punjab and northwest frontier provinces Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan and Sindh. And in Group C, Bengal and Assam. And it should be a union of new nature forming the central organization, provincial organization and the group organization. The power of a union and the provinces were explained in this proposal, and in this mission they said that power were distributed between the provincial groups and the organizations they were concerned, and it was said that these will be decided by the provincial and the group organizations themselves, and the cabinet on the basis of their population, keeping in view the proportion of population, each province will be given representations. I'll explain this topic, and hope you will understand it, because this topic is very important. But this answer of this question is on your screens, and you can write these three groups: Group A, B and C, and write it how it works. And now move to the next question. Write any 3 points of the Wavell Plan. And the answer of this question is Lord Wavell was the British Viceroy in India, and he announced to call for the conference to think over the issues of the subcontinent, so that decision could be taken regarding the constitution for the future, formation of the government and elections of the assemblies. Following points were included in the Wavell Plan. Number 1 is the constitution of the future will be made with the will of all the political forces. Number 2, the Viceroy Executive Council will be reconstituted. Representatives of all the political forces will be selected for it. 6 Hindus and 5 Muslim representatives will be included in the Executive Council. And Number 3 is Governor General will preside over the Executive Council. All the members of the Executive Council will belong to the subcontinent except the Commander-in-Chief. 8th question is describe the manifestos of the Muslim League and the Congress in the general election 1945-1946. It was the manifesto of the Congress that South Asia will be liberated as a single unit. No scheme of partition will be acceptable to them. Congress claimed itself to be the representative of all the communities and sections of the people living in the subcontinent, and that the Muslim also agreed to the viewpoint of the Congress. And on the other side, Muslim League manifesto is totally different and opposite with the Congress. Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayh affirmed that the general elections will approve plebiscite regarding Pakistan. If the Muslims stood with Muslim League, it meant they wanted Pakistan. Otherwise, the demand for the separate homeland should be considered as rejected. And in this election, Muslim League proved this thing, that it was the only representative of the Muslims of the subcontinent. Although there existing some other Muslim parties, yet none of them represented the majority of the Muslim League wanted the partition of South Asia in accordance with the Pakistan resolution. So the Muslims should have full authority in the area having Muslims in majority. Question number 9. Write the text of the Pakistan resolution. The 27th annual session of the All India Muslim League was held at Lahore in the historical park Iqbal Park on 23rd of March 1940. It was presided over by the Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Great personalities like Maulana Zafar Ali Khan, Chaudhry Khaliquzzama, Qazi Muhammad Isa, Sir Abdul Haroon, Sardar Abdul Rab Nishtar and Maulana Abdul Hamid Badauni were presented in the session. A large number of the Muslims from all over the subcontinent participated in the session. A resolution named Lahore Resolution was presented in the session by the Tiger of Bengal, A.K. Fazlul Haq. It was passed unanimously among the cheers. Thus, on this historical day, the Muslims identified their destination. You can see the text of the resolution on your screens, and this resolution, the text of resolution is the answer of your question. The resolution declared no constitutional plan would be workable or acceptable to the Muslim unless geographical contiguous units are demarcated into regions which should be constituted with such territorial readjustment as may be necessary, that the areas in which the Muslims are numerically in majority, as in the northwestern and eastern zone of India, should be grouped to constitute independent state in which the constituent units shall be autonomous and sovereign. It further reads, the adequate, effective and mandatory safeguards shall be specifically provided in the Constitution for minorities in the unit and in the regions for the protection and their religious, cultural, economic, political and administrative and other rights of the minorities, with their consultation arrangements thus should be made for the security of Muslims where they were in minority. Next question is, write the names of 5 ministers of Muslim League included in the interim government. The 5 ministers from Muslim League were as they are included in the interim government: Liaquat Ali Khan, Abdul Rab Nishtar, Ibrahim Ismail Chundrigar, Raja Ghazanfar Ali Khan and Joginder Nath Mandal. The next question is, write the names of the members of Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. The commission consisted of the ministers. These 3 ministers are included in the Cabinet Mission Plan, and they are the members of the Cabinet Mission Plan. Their names are Sir Stafford Cripps, Mr. A.V. Alexander, Lord Patrick Lawrence. Since all the members belonged to British cabinet, it was called the Cabinet Mission. Now move to the next question, and the next question is, narrate the standpoint of Quaid-e-Azam on Rowlatt Act 1919. Rowlatt Act 1919, Sir Sidney Rowlatt got an act passed and it was named as the Rowlatt Act. It was a black law. The administration was given unlimited powers and the civil rights were trodden upon. Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayh raised his voice against it. He wrote to the Viceroy, Lord Chelmsford, in my opinion, the government that passes or sanctions such a law in times of peace forfeit its claim to be called civilized government. The next question is, how did the India occupy Kashmir? There were 635 princely states in the subcontinent. A large number of these states joined one either of the 2 countries. However, no decision could be made of the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Hyderabad, Deccan, Junagadh, Mangrol and Manavardar. Afterwards, India occupies these states and Muslims were in minority in these states except Jammu and Kashmir. Therefore, Pakistan arose the question of rights of the people with reference to the Muslim majority state Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan is of the view that the right of self-determination of every state must be honored and the future of the state must be decided in accordance with the wishes of the people. Now move to the next question, and the next question is describe the holding of all parties conference under the 3rd June Plan 1947. All parties conference were called when Lord Mountbatten came back from London. He all parties conference Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayh, Liaquat Ali Khan, Sardar Abdurrab Nishtar, Pandit Nehru, Sardar Patel, Acharya, and all the prominent personalities in the politics of India were also participated in it, and Viceroy of India explained the various aspects of the partition plan. Afterwards, he held separate meeting with leaders of each party. On 3rd June Plan 1947, the second session of the conference was conducted. All the leaders approved the plan, despite the promise made with the Muslims had been breached and injustice was done to gain the goodwill of the leaders of the Congress. Quaid-e-Azam accepted the plan unwillingly. The speeches of the representatives of both the major parties were broadcasted on radio. Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayh ended his speech with Pakistan Zindabad. Question number 15, last question. How did the Quaid-e-Azam Rahmatullah Alayh get the title of Ambassador of Peace under Lucknow Pact? Quaid-e-Azam united both of the nations, the Hindus and the Muslims, in 1916, and he got the right of separate electorate for the Muslims, acknowledged and got the title of Ambassador of Peace. And this was all for today's topic. Hope all of you have enjoyed and understood the delivered lecture. If any of you have any query, any question, please contact me without any hesitation. Stay safe, stay blessed, and study regularly. Allah Hafiz.